Oh, old projectors we don't take.
This is not what I came in for.
Okay.
I got something better than that. How about 1930s film footage of President FDR? That's not stock, but personal.
He was the president when you were born.
Stone cold.
I decided to come in today to the pawn shop to sell my FDR film footage from the late 1930s that no one's ever seen before. You get to see a different, unique perspective on a president of the United States who happens to be one of the most popular presidents ever.
So how in the world did you get this?
I used to work for an antique dealer, and it was just a box of old film, and it was no use to him, and I asked him could I have it, and he let me have it.
And you went there and started looking through them, and...
Yeah, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm looking into a window of history.
FDR was our 32nd president. He was president from 1933 to 1945. A lot of people thought he was a great president, including my dad. Almost everyone knows he had polio and was confined to a wheelchair. But back then they kept it extremely secretive because they didn't want anybody to know.
What's the length of the film?
It's about 7.5, 8 minutes long.
Okay. Do you know who this J.V. Malcolm Jr. is?
Yes, he worked for the Red Cross, and he was an attorney for the Red Cross back then. Had access to a lot of people of his time, including the president.
This could be a great find.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, they were really, really restrictive on who filmed FDR.
There was a lot of footage of FDR out there, but there is no footage of him in a wheelchair and only very few photos of it. With all the cameras and media devices they have today, a secret like his wouldn't have been a secret very long.
We need to make sure that it's not stock footage from some 16 millimeter that's been brought down.
I'm sure we'll be able to tell if it's done with a small home movie camera.
This is personally done.
If this is an original home video of FDR while president, it's one of a kind. And there's only one way to find out.
Can we watch it?
Sure.
Okay, come on, let's go look at it.
I'd be lying to you if I wasn't excited about this piece. To a lot of Americans, FDR was a hero. It's one of those items you almost can't put a price tag on, but I'll try.
You guys ready?
About
Ready?
time.
You never know, this could be spy footage right here. The blimp is cool.
Yeah, that's quite a scene.
That's the White House. That's FDR.
It's one hell of a top hat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I loved watching the footage. I thought it was great. But everyone with a home movie camera in the 1930s that was around Washington probably got a clip of him in his car.
It's incredible to think that we're watching something that only a handful have seen before. It's an unbelievable piece of history. But now that my popcorn is run out, it's time to get back to business, and that means negotiate.
I can't believe you've had this for so long. And then you haven't done anything with it for like 15 years?
No.
All right, so how much do you want for it?
Well, do you have a value for history?
Everything's got a price.
I'm looking for $90,000.
Whoa. That's a tough, I don't see it there.
No, I don't either, son.
You know, the Marilyn Monroe film just went for $175,000, and that's her just around smoking around with her friends, so.
Yeah, that's Marilyn Monroe, though.
I was completely blown away by the footage, but it wasn't close up and it wasn't clear. If he had a home video of FDR at home in his wheelchair, I would have shelled out 90 grand in a minute.
It's one of those things I'm not even going to make an offer on.
Well, why don't you flirt with me?
You're not going to like my flirt. It's one of those things, like I said, it's one of a kind, okay? And the problem you have with one-of-a-kind items is you can't go back and reference what the last one sold for. So when it's one-of-a-kind things like this, I generally pass on them.
It's like when a shotgun goes off. You don't know what the pattern's going to be till afterwards. This could go in an auction. They could start at $1,000 and get no bids. They could start at $1,000 and they'd go $200,000.
Right.
Well, thanks for bringing it by, man.
I would have loved to have bought this. It would have been a really cool thing to own. But what often happens when you have a priceless item, it's hard to make a deal.